Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And in today's episode, the topic is, has Kendrick Perkins finally seen the light on the Clippers? So that's the topic I want to get into today's video. But before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to ensure that you receive our videos whenever they come out. Also, make sure you check out Dreamerspro Max, an online sports community, place where you can chat live during games, consume original content that you're not going to be able to get anywhere else, and basketball topics and so many other cool things. So make sure you check that out. We have that linked in the description below. Get 7 days of access. And also make sure you click the join button to join the channel next to the subscribe button to receive your loyalty badges and ensure that whatever you leave a comment is responded to. So make sure you go ahead and do that. Anyway, let me get into this topic here. So, all season long, I have sat here and cried about the fact that the Clippers have been overlooked by the media in general. I've said this, I've been the one. I've noticed some people have been making videos on the Clippers, and some guys out there are doing a good job, but I don't think people out there are coming at it from the angle that we're coming at it here on Dreamers Pro. And I've been one of the people that has been saying that. I complained about the fact that Kawhi Leonard should have gotten at least some early season MVP consideration. Not to say he should have won. I don't think Kawhi Leonard should win. I don't think he should be in the top 3 right now in MVP voting. Obviously, I'm not a homer like some people out there, but I do think he should have been mentioned. Now, some people say, well, why do you care? It doesn't really matter what the media says, because blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Listen, a lot of the reason why we feel a certain way about certain players is because of the narrative that the media creates around certain people. When they're ready to inflate somebody, they can inflate a guy, and they'll have you thinking more about a guy than he really is. And in some cases, when they're really ready to diminish a guy, they'll do the exact opposite of that. Like for example, look at Kyrie Irving. Look how great of a player he is. Do y'all hear anybody talking about Kyrie like on a daily basis? No. He's a great player. So it matters when players are warranted. When a player warrants praise, give it to them, right? And by not doing that and robbing them of their just due, it hurts them as far as the way the people, as far as how people perceive them in the media. So that's one of the reasons why I said that. Now listen, some Clippers fans said we prefer that the Clippers fly under the radar, right? Because they didn't want any kind of let's say expectations, especially what happened last year in the Orlando bubble, going into that second round, going up 3-1 and then blowing the 3-1 lead. Now, funny enough, this is not the first time. That was not the first time a team blew a 3-1 lead. I can think of 2 teams that did that. Let's go through the history and look. What were the 2 teams that blew a 3-1 lead? The Golden State Warriors and the Oklahoma City Thunder. So it turns out the Clippers are not the first team to do that. Although the media tried to make it seem like, it was a bad loss. Don't get me wrong in any way, but it wasn't like as if that was the first time that something like that has happened. Now, the Clippers have been playing really good since All-Star break. I think they're up there with one of the best teams as far as records since the All-Star break. They must be up there with the teams playing the best since the All-Star break. They've been doing very well, and they have been getting some respect over the last 2 to 3 weeks from the media. People have been taking notice. When you win a lot of games, when you're doing really well, people have no choice but to take notice of you. That's why I said the only way for the Clippers to get this kind of moniker off their back, get the monkey off their back, so to speak, as far as being criticized, they have to win, right? They have to win a title. If you look at Paul George, the only way for people to stop calling him this and this and this and that, he needs to win an NBA championship. Irrespective of the fact that the guy's already done quite a bit in his career, he still needs to go out there and win a title for people to get off his back and stop criticizing him, right? But the Clippers have been getting some respect from the media, and one person that came out just yesterday and heaped some praise on him, to my surprise, was Kendrick Perkins on the Stephen A. Smith show. Now, I caught this segment a little bit later in the night, but basically they asked Kendrick Perkins, Stephen A. Smith asked Kendrick Perkins who was his favorite to come out of the Western Conference. So before I go too far, I want you guys to take a listen to what Kendrick Perkins had to say about who he believes is the favorites to come out of the Western Conference. So take a listen to what Kendrick Perkins had to say in that soundbite.
We welcome in both Kendrick Perkins and Michael Wilbons. Now we bring in both of you guys. And listen, let's get to the first question. KP, the Clippers are 8-2 since Rondo joined the team. Where do you rank the Clippers in the West right now?
Number 1, and they're the clear-cut favorites to come out of the Western Conference. And Stephen A., I've been telling you this for a while. The only thing that the Clippers were missing was a floor general and a leader. And they got that in Rajon Rondo, a guy that's going to help out Kawhi Leonard and Paul George get guys into their spots, hold guys accountable. He's a coach on and off the floor, and he's going to help out Ty Lue. And most importantly, he's going to put that key into Paul George's back. We won't see that same thing happen that we saw in the bubble when Paul George had that little hissy fit of a thing in the bubble. We're not going to see that this year.
Now, in that soundbite, Kendrick Perkins explicitly states that he believes that the Clippers are the favorites to come out of the Western Conference. And if you saw the video itself, you would see that Stephen A. Smith was surprised that he said that because Stephen A. Smith has been rolling with the Lakers, and he's entitled to do that. That's his opinion. No problem. Nobody's fighting with you over that. I think the problem we get into is when people want to fight you to be their fans. Like, I know some people that support certain people and me, and they want to fight. It's not enough that they support that guy. They want you to support that person the same way they're supporting. I think that's a little bit much, right? Stephen A. Smith is totally entitled to his opinion. Essentially, what Kendrick Perkins said is this. He said the Clippers were missing two key ingredients for them to be considered, a championship caliber team. He said, number one, they needed a quintessential point guard. That was one of the things that him and others in the media, including Nick Wright, Shannon Sharp, Skip Bayless, Max Kellerman, Stephen A. Smith, all said the Clippers needed a point guard. They said early in the season that I think it was an offseason when they had the opportunity to acquire Rajon Rondo. They were saying when they didn't get him, they said they missed an opportunity. That was the guy that they really needed, right? Ultimately, they ended up getting the guy in Rajon Rondo. So Kendrick Perkins said, I said they needed a point guard. They went out there and acquired one of the best point guards to ever play, as far as one of the smartest point guards to ever play that position, the championship caliber point guard. So they got that. He said another thing that the Clippers needed was leadership, and Rajon Rondo helps them in that department as well. So once Kendrick Perkins looked at the addition of Rajon Rondo, looking at the fact that since he's joined the team has been 8-3, right, including the loss, that they had last night. They've been 8-3. That, listen, this team has gotten better. You can see they have a much better flow since they've added this guy to the team. He said then there's no reason for me not to pick them as the favorites, given the fact that the Lakers have been kind of stumbling over the last few weeks. And we're going to get to the Lakers a little bit later. For him, it was a clear answer for him to come out and say, listen, he picks the Clippers to be the favorites to come out of the Western Conference. And let's talk about Rajon Rondo for a moment here. Let's talk about some of the things that he brings to the Clippers. And in case some people are kind of not understanding why is Rondo such an important piece to the Clippers, championship puzzle? Why does he matter? Essentially, what Rajon Rondo brings is, number one, he brings experience. Rondo has 2 NBA titles. Number one, he's won with some of the most important organizations in sports, as far as the Lakers and the Boston Celtics. He's played with great players before in Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, LeBron James, Anthony Davis. He's played with big personalities before. Number two, he's very tough. Rajon Rondo is a tough guy. Like he looks like he's about to smoke. He has like a baby face, but don't get it twisted. Rajon Rondo's about to smoke, and you need that. He has championship pedigree, as I just explained. He's a coach on the floor. He's an extension of the coach on the floor. He's their smartest point guard. I don't even think there's a question about that. As far as he's leaps and bounds ahead of Reggie Jackson and Patrick Beverley. As far as when they talk about a point guard that can run a team, understanding shot clock, game clock, knowing how to get guys in the right position, knowing who needs a shot at what moment, all these different things. He's a maestro when it comes to that. He has a proven record of doing that. He has a knack for playing well in the playoffs, as we saw last year. Playoff Rondo is a real thing, and also. Finally, his candor. Rajon Rondo is a straight shooter. He's going to tell you exactly what he thinks. He's going to hold guys accountable, and that's exactly one of the things that they need. You don't need somebody kind of beating around the bush when you're in pursuit of a championship, when certain things need to change, and nobody really wants to come out there and say it. When you have a guy like this, he can come out there and kind of just set things straight. And right now, they're the number 3 seed in the Western Conference, so you can see by having them on the team, they've really solved a lot of their issues. I used to be very, very, very frustrated watching this team, especially when they had Lou Williams there. I really didn't like the makeup of the team then. Now, last night they lost a close game to the Suns without 3 starters, and some people, funny enough, even as we're preparing this video, some comments are coming in, and people are in here talking about, oh, Paul George, he didn't show up last night, and CP3 is the man, and blah, 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 and they got me in here dancing to all of their foolishness, like, oh yeah, Paul George, this and this. Hold up a minute, son. Hold up. Let me switch it up. Hold up. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, the Clippers have played the Suns 3 times this season, right? Right. They beat them how many times prior to that? 2 times already, right? Cool. Last night they played the Suns. Help me understand for the people that are out there beating their chests and breakdancing and doing whatever they doing, all that foolishness. Help me understand how many Clippers starters were missing yesterday? Was it me, or were they missing Serge? Were they missing Kawhi Leonard, their best player? Were they missing Patrick Bell? I think they were missing those 3 players, right? Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I need to go look back at the box score to get. So they were missing their 3 best players. They won a game by 8 points, and dudes is out here breakdancing and acting like as if they accomplished something. PG has still been giving dudes buckets on that team. Well, I don't understand what all the hype. Your PG, I saw you, son. What happened to your Clippers? Y'all dudes is lame. Y'all are lame. Where were you at when the team was winning? When they beat? I never see these dudes. I never see you, as they say in New York. You never outside. Where are you guys at? All of a sudden, they lose a team to a team missing their best player. Their best players played. Chris Paul played. Devin Booker played. DeAndre Ayton, he played. And all of a sudden, dudes is sliding from under the rocks, talking about, "Told you PG wasn't the yo." Get out of here! You guys are lame as hell. Your comments are lame. You make no sense, and I don't even know why I'm wasting my time responding to you. I take nothing from that game. The Suns better had won that game. You know how embarrassing it would have been if they lost that game, and the Clippers were missing 3 starters and their best player. Come on, cut it out. That I take nothing away from that from that loss. Some people will. I don't. So back to Kendrick Perkins. I think Kendrick Perkins is seeing the light finally. So what I want to know from you guys is, do you think KP has finally seen the light with the Clippers? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Also, be on the lookout for these lames, man. They're in their comment section. Be careful. These dudes are falling from rafters. Make sure they don't hit you on their way in. Anyway, this is Charles H. Catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.